Okay, looks like we're good to go. Just gotta make sure it's coming through on YouTube. It looks pretty good. There's our playlist going according to plan. Okay, cool. Looks like we're good. Alright. Well, welcome back to Blender a Day. This is day 8. Today, instead of exploring random features in Blender, I thought I have this idea for a stone wall. It's technically not a texture. I haven't figured out how to export textures, but maybe we'll figure that out today. But it would technically just be an image that you would then turn around and use as a material for an object. Kind of, what's the phrase? Not mocking, not duplicating, imitating, kind of imitating a texture. I've been able to use that for a lot of my renders so far. Like a while back I did a treasure chest. Actually, let me see if I can bring up a picture of it. Oh, it was the chest I used in one of the earlier Blender days. Yeah, just this one. Wait, can you see that? You can see that. Good. Yeah, this. I want to zoom. Control Z. Aha. Except, yeah, so this chest right here, it is harder to see from here, but the wood does have kind of like a wood texture, but that's just actually a single image that I extrapolated. So anyway, point to this entire thing is that I'm gonna be making a stone wall or stone floor. There's going to be stone involved. Yeah. So, let us open a new general file. And this one is going to be a little more hands-on. I do have an idea about how to make this wall a little more procedural. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to not get rid of our default cube. We're actually going to, sorry, let me turn these on first. It's probably more helpful. First thing we're going to do is we're going to keep this default cube, and then we're going to use that as our stone. So we're going to scale that on our x-axis, scale it down on our z, and make it into a little brick shape. Then we are going to smooth out the corners. Let's drop it into object mode. Subdivide it a couple times. That's probably good enough. And yeah, let's see what we can do here. So for the beginning, I just want to do some basic grab and pulls. See if I can, yeah, kind of bring that corner in. Do the same for that. Kind of different. Drag this one a little more that way. That one. Kind of like that. And for that same one, let's just scale it in. It still brings it down to a single point though. So, we're going to need to smooth that. But I have an idea about that. But we'll work on that in a second. Take that, scale it in. Make it look a little more bendy. Hello. Blender with Aaron. Hey, how's it going, man? Hey, what's up, Chris? How's life, man? Starting to look more like a jelly cube than a rock, but I can work with this. That's good. That's good. Also, just as a heads up, I have discovered there is like a 30-second delay. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate the love for the vids. I'm figuring this out as I go, but it's been a fun process. Yesterday I don't know if you saw or not, but yesterday I spent way too much time nerding out about how the 2D animation aspect of this whole thing works. It's actually really cool. But anyway, yeah, I'm glad that you're good. Oops. I may have accidentally. We'll just shrink that down. It's fine. This one too. If you can't see it, you can't worry about it. Not that I'm saying people should run away from their problems. I'm just saying specifically for 3D modeling. Okay, I'm probably gonna have to jump over to the sculpt menu, because this looks pretty good, but it's not exactly what I'm wanting. Yeah, and then if I apply that subdivision, it starts to look kind of like a jelly. I want it to look like a cut, smooth stone. Although, I am going to need that subdivision in there, so I'll apply that. Let's see. Ooh, we got lots of vertices in there. I don't think I need quite that many. So let's pop on back and drop that down to 1. Apply that. Boom. Alright, let's do some sculpting. Object is non-uniform scale. Sculpting may be unpretty. Yeah, that's fair. So we're going to go for drawing sharp, and we don't want it to affect anything else. Let's see how this looks. Pretty big. I just want smaller. Actually, before we jump into sculpt mode, let's see. Okay. Yeah, it looks like I might need to go back to that subdivision. Whoop. May have overshot it. Crank that up to 2. That'll give me more to work with, sculpting wise. Okay. Turn off the X. That's better. It's not perfect, but it's better. Especially if I shade smooth. Looks more like a dent. It's still a really big brush size though. Shade that smooth. Sculpt mode. Crank that down to like a set. I'm okay with like an 11. Dents in there. I need more strength. looks like rendered. You know, except for some spots on the edges, that's not actually too far from what I was hoping for. What if we just get rid of lighting and focus on material? Oh no, that's horrendous. Put this over here because that's the side we're primarily working with. And then back to sculpting. It might also be a good idea to start working on a texture for this, or a material for this, but eh. Let's flatten this. Actually, flattening may have been a really bad idea. If we apply this over here. Can't tell if this is helping or making it worse. Actually, it looks pretty good. Because the stone wouldn't be smooth per se. It would be rough. Kind of flat, especially if I can get these corners. Yeah. Is it just me, or is this looking like weirdly fleshy? There on the side. Rough it up a little. What does the fill do here? Oh, exactly what it sounds like. It fills it. I don't know what I expected. Let's scrape. Oh, actually, that's kind of exactly what I was looking for. Let's apply that on top. I want this to look a little rough-hewn, but still intentional. I don't know if it's just me, because I'm definitely biased, but this is actually looking kind of awesome. Add the scrape modifier, give that some texturing. Whoop, 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 whoop. Check out the bottom. Ooh, that was not what I had in mind, but it actually looks pretty good. Yeah, some random lines. Let's go over and do some clay strips. Where are you? It's gonna be up at the top, isn't it? Yep. Woo! Well, that's horrifying. Let's not do that. Maybe thumb? And that, kids, is how you make a hell portal. Which, as terrifying as it sounds, is actually surprisingly relevant for my projects. Not just in general. You know what I mean, I think. And let's apply a draw. That's too deep. Let's add some markings. You know, bricks, stones are rough, man. So you want to get those spots. And don't worry, before you ask, I will be smoothing this out. Just want to kind of add these indentations beforehand. And then that'll make it a little more rough and textured when I start smoothing this out. Okay, so what we could do for this stone, in order to make it look more realistic and stone-like, is we could go online, find a picture of a stone texture, wrap it around this thing, blah 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 blah, and then that would make it, you know, look like a pretty realistic looking stone. That's what we could do. But the entire goal with this, at least my goal with this, is to create a brand new material and a brand new texture. I know there's more experienced blenderists who are going to want to stab me for calling this, what I'm going to create, a texture. So I'm going to call it a simulated or artificial texture. So let's flatten that out. Is it working? I don't think it is. Probably need to up the radius a little bit. When in doubt, up the radius. This one I don't actually need the... Don't actually really need the stylus for this one. Just because you can kind of get the same effect that you're looking for by just clicking and dragging. Makes it look a little more rough. Don't want the curves to be too smooth, because then it starts to look like bread or cheese or something like that. Which, I mean, worst case scenario, if this starts looking like cheese or bread, I'll just pretend that was the just pretend that was the goal the entire time. Make it a little more rough and uneven. It's kind of shiny right now. That's okay. It won't be. Not for long. I did notice there was one of these edges over here. Which one was it? Not that one. Not that one. There was an edge that still looked... Was it... Maybe? It's kind of hard to tell, honestly. It was right here. Okay. Not to brag, but that is a pretty handsome looking rough-hewn brick thing. That wasn't actually that hard to do. So, I think that's all the modeling. As for the other ones, I might do some distortions and then show them at different angles. Maybe do a couple of array modifiers. Who knows? We're going to figure this out together. So let's, like I was saying before, we could hypothetically get an image texture and apply it to this, and then, which for those same people who were getting mad at me before, just as a note, it is called an image texture, so there's only like 2 people watching this stream right now, and I don't think either of them are getting mad at me over that specific thing. This is just having fun. If you are getting mad, I'm sorry. But yeah. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to pop over and grab ourselves a noise texture. We're going to plug that noise texture directly into a color ramp. And that color ramp is going to help us determine the overall base color being applied here. So you should get something a little more rock-like, but if you increase the scale, that helps offset the randomness. What if we distort it? Then it looks really nice and fun and shiny. Somehow. Increase the roughness. See? Boom. Already that looks like a pretty good rock. Like if I were to walk up to you and just say, hey, look at my rock, you'd say, that's a rock. And I'm not even done. Camera's up here. I don't know why I'm looking down here. There's nothing down here. Okay, so now that that is effectively done, let's pop over and let's make this a little more of a grayish, give it more of a classic rock look. Let's also take the black and crank that up a little bit too. We don't want it to be super contrasty, we just want it to have a visible texture. Yeah, there we go. Increase the roughness. Boom. Straight up rock. But rocks are slightly shiny, so slight decrease in the roughness. But pretty rock-like. If we want to make this more rock-like, we can go over to it, plug in a blah 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 blah. Where are you? Displacement modifier. Boom. Make it look all puffy. Texture, new, sure. Direction X, Y, Z, normal, mid-level. Okay, that's crushing it inwards. I want to crush it outwards. Flip it. Oh, hey, that actually kind of... Nope, never mind, it didn't work. Woo! Big ol' explosion. Apply is a... Oh, that's right. I want to focus on this here. What if I focus on that patch right there? Nope, still same effect. Okay, never mind. We're going to ignore that. What we can do, however, is we can go over to the shade modifier and take this same color ramp thing, plug it directly into the displacement, and turn it into this horrifying monstrosity you're going to see in a second. Okay, it's not actually as bad as I was expecting. So normally when you do something like that, in order to get a good displacement, what you want to do is go over here and get a displacement node. With that displacement node, then you can then turn around and take that. Technically, you can just take the displacement itself, but color ramp I like a little bit more. Plug that into the height, plug the displacement into the displacement over here, and that'll give you basically the same thing you saw before, except now we have little modifiers that we can tweak with. So if you want to reduce the scale of it, bring it to a... Usually like a 0.1 works for me. Now it's a slightly rougher looking rock. Let's also increase the detail. Oh my gosh. Not that much. Like a 4. Maybe decrease the scale a little bit. And then increase that detail. I'm going to take back something I said earlier. We might actually want to... No, I like that. I like it the way it is. Let's make this darker. Okay, so you know what I said earlier about color? Let's not do that. Let's come over here and do that. You should actually just get the exact same effect, but yeah. Want it to look a little more rock-like. Right now it's kind of pimply looking, so let's crank that down to half of what it was. Still not loving that. What if we decrease the mid-level? Increase the mid-level. Make it look horrendous. Decrease this even more. There was something that happened. That was what happened. So if you get super close, it gets blurry. So we'll set this to a 3, because we do want some of that visible. No real distortion though. Do want that roughness. Slight roughness. Not as much as before. And that distortion, displacement, it's not really gonna do much visually, but I just like it better if this, at least for this project, because there are gonna be some shots that I want to do of it that are gonna be in your face. Oh, there's my alarm reminding me to relax. Relaxation is for the weak. I'm just kidding. This is how I'm relaxing right now. So I am following my own orders. That is a pretty good looking rock, if I do say so myself. I might turn up that roughness. Of course, this is not rendered. There we go. That's better. Look at that rock. That looks like a rock. At least I think it looks like a rock. I could be wrong. Maybe it looks like a really hard pillow if you're insane. There are some parts of it that are kind of smooth, but I mean, the idea I'm going for here is this is probably something that was a little hand chiseled to be used in a walkway. Speaking of that walkway, time to bring in player 2. Let's rename this stone. And let's actually save this file, because I have a terrible habit of not doing that. In fact, I think the one time it actually got me in trouble was off camera. Luckily, I think it auto-saved a backup, which was amazing, but I was still really scared because I worked hard on, I don't even remember what the project was, but it was some random thing, and it was terrifying. Okay. So now what we're going to do, we're going to add a plane. Boom. Scale this bad boy way up. Like there. Doesn't need to be super crazy. Now the ideal thing would be if we could get this material to be seamless, but that sounds like a lot of effort, and I don't want to do that. So we're not going to do that. Instead, we're just going to make a basic thing. We are, however, going to take this and we are going to apply a particle system to it. So, particle properties, we're going to add new. Hair. So now it has those horrifying things sticking off of it. I think they're sticking from the bottom as well. Nope, just the top. Okay, that works in my advantage. Number, that's fine. Source, emit from faces, yeah. Jittered stack, that's all good. Hair length, probably reduce that down. Render as path. Render as objects, and then the instance object we're going to use is this rock. We're going to just hide you for right now. Okay, so going back to the particle system, let's come back here and let's increase. Just kidding, don't do that. Okay, so we have them all over the place. We want them to be bigger. Rendering is an object, so let's up the scale. Scale randomness. Slightly scale randomness. I don't want it to be super crazy, but I also want it to be enough that you can actually see a road here. Right now it kind of just looks like a bunch of bricks. I wonder, is there a way I can tell them to not touch each other? I mean, I could just decrease the number. Crank that way down. Even still, there's still overlap. Render is object scale, object, render, aerodynamics number, seed, source, emit from faces, distribution, random? No, let's just do jitter. Even distribution, off, random order, particles, phase, jittering amount. Hair dynamics, sure. Quality steps, crank that all the way up. Nope, never mind. I don't want my computer to crash. Take that back down to 5. Collisions. What if I... Hang on, yeah. Really? Nothing? Huh. Stiffness. Random. Nothing. This is probably doing something else than what I'm thinking it does. So we're going to ignore that for now. Hair shape, diameter, root. I guess this is for modifying just the hair normally. So, field weights, nah. Let's ignore that. Vertex groups. Display is path. Display is rendered. Color, material, amount, 100%. I guess I can show not all of them. I'm not super familiar with particles, so this is going to be regrow. Yeah, this is going to be a thing. Oh, I can keyframe it. That's cool. That's good for animation. Maybe I should animate something at some point. I mean, it does have a built-in rendering suite. Okay. Random order, even distribution. Or no, I do want even distribution. Particles per face. Reduce that hair length. We do want to increase the... Oh no, they're just overlapping. Oh, that's horrendous. Okay, so that's not working. Looks like we can move them along a wave like that. It's not really a wave, but they're definitely all shifting in a solid pattern. I think that's because we disabled random order. Global coordinates. Object rotation. Extra. So that would keep the rotation. Oh, okay, so if I come over here to the stone, and then I unhide it. I don't know how to unhide, but if I take that, focus on the stone, and then I rotate, then all of these are going to rotate. Honestly, when they're just in the solid state and you can't see the material I made, they kind of look like creepy loaves of bread. Okay, tell you what, I have not figured this out confidently enough to actually work with it the way that I want to. So why don't... I'm not going to say anything, you don't say anything, and we're just going to use a duplication thing on this. So we're going to pop up and look at this from a sky view. And we are just going to start dragging and dropping to basic rotation here. And slight scale effect. Something like that. Then click those. Unclick those. Okay, maybe that was was a bad idea. Click that, shift click that, duplicate. Now I could use an array modifier on this, but The advantage here is because they are going to be dragged and dropped by hand, it will make it look a little more rough-hewn. Scale that on the X. And we're going to take all of these, duplicate, but we're going to rotate them first. That way it's harder to tell that they are the same object. Slight scale down, drag, squish, then we'll do some modifications. Alright, this is going to take a while. I mean, not too super long. There's obviously easier ways to do this, but I don't know them. So we're just going to keep doing this. And not all these bricks are going to fit perfectly evenly. That is alright. We'll scale this one slightly on the X to make it a little less repetitive. Funny thing is, these two bricks are exactly identical, but unless you focus on it, it's actually hard to tell. Slight scale. I think in order to add some more variety, I pop over here, duplicate that, rotate that, settings, rotate that exactly 90 on there, scale that down on the Z so it becomes like that, and scale it out on the X. Boom, brand new brick. I'm going to take a copy of this one. See, we already have two different brick varieties. Let's make more. Take this one, duplicate it, move it over here, rotate it the other way, -90. Scale that down on the X. Oops, no, sorry. Scale that down on the Z. Squish it like a little pancake. Stretch it out. Oh, that works too. Stretch it on the X, and boom. Brand new brick. There's no possible way to tell that these are in any way related. What does this look rendered? Oh, actually. I'm kind of digging that. This will be, I'll worry about the material of that later. Probably a dirt color. Something grayish. I don't know. I also did want to add a random lichen effect to the bricks. You know, to add a little more coloration to them. So I'll probably go back and do that in a sec. Maybe I'll use weight painting for that. I could individually model, that would be a lot of particles. But if I am just using this solely as an image texture, then I don't really have to worry as much about that. Okay, so we got our 3 unique bricks. That one needs to glide down a little bit. 7. Boom, 3 unique bricks. Let's grab them all and duplicate and plug them in somewhere random. Duplicate this one, rotate that one, stick it in there. Were bricklayers, when it comes to these things, always perfect? Absolutely not. We're going to add another one over here and stretch it out on the Y-axis. Also, why is there so much debate over what Z or Z is? Like, I just find it strange that it's the only letter that comes under that amount of, like, fire. Because almost every other letter is pronounced fairly similarly. across. I mean, I guess it depends entirely on the language you're speaking, but that's a whole different kettle of fish. Let's make this one small. Boom. Put that one there, kind of nestled up against that one. Duplicate. Rotate. Ta-da! Heck, most of these bricks are the exact same brick, which is why I'm going to rotate them on the y-axis 180. Ta-da! Different brick. Bet you didn't even tell. Alright. Let's make more. Bricks. Duplicate. There's got to be an easier way to do this. What if we take what we already have and then we use this as kind of a template so we can just kind of copy paste the rest. So I'm just going to finish up this little section here and then we're going to do that. Scale that one on the Y, make a wider brick. That'll also help compensate for this area down here. Duplicate. Hopefully no one will notice that this is the exact same thing, slightly copied and modified. I mean, to be fair, that's what they all are, but duplicate you, stick you in here. Scale you on the X. Ta-da! Then we're just going to hide this plane right here. Select just kind of a clump. Yeah, like that. Redefine our plane, duplicate. Boom. Bricks. Rotate them. You thought that rotation was good. Wait till I show you this rotation. 180. All these bricks are about to look totally different. Boom. Okay, why didn't that work? Oh, I guess we can't really apply the transformation unless they're a single thing. Well, guess what? Now they're a single thing. What do you mean it's not a selected mesh? Hang on, I want to select all of you again. Dang it. Shift. D. Click. Those are the only objects selected. Control J to join. Is it Shift J? I can never remember. Okay. Why is it getting mad at me for that? Control J. Active object is not selected mesh. What do you mean active object? What if I work with a smaller quantity? If I take these three and then Control J, active object is not a selected mesh. Weird. Oh, song name? Let's see. Well, the one that's currently playing is Rainforest. I'm hoping that's the one you were talking about. If it was the one before, I don't know. I'm gonna go back, I think. Of course, VLC has a really interesting shuffle mechanic. Wait a second. I just realized something. Do I have to be in edit mode to make these all one? Edit mode. All selected. J. Did that do it? No, it did not. No mesh data to join. Select that. Why did that work? Hang on, hang on. Okay, that works. But if I select those, that also works. What in the actual... what is going on here? Let's take all these right here, and just for the spice and joy of my own happiness, let's join them as a single... okay, that randomly worked that time. not sure what was up. I guess I had something else selected. Okay, rotated 180. Glide, slight rotation. Oop. They take on the properties of the first object that was selected, so that's why the center point is there. Let's rotate this again, actually. Get a little more. Except that's how it looks down there. We don't want that. We'll just take it like that. Drag it here. Steal one of these bad boys. Scale it on the Y. I'll duplicate that. And... Railways. Okay. Railways is a good song. Yeah, don't tell the other songs I said this, but it's actually one of my favorites on the playlist. I feel like the other days when I do this modeling stuff, I create something a little more exciting. I mean, not all the time. Yesterday I made, a tree. But, point being, yeah, it is not quite as exciting, because the end result for this is just going to be like a brick wall. Look what you can make, it's a brick wall. This brick wall is going to be phenomenal. What if we just, oops, undo. Scale that down and use that to fill in the cracks. Some brick walls have the tiny little rocks. Yeah, let's not do that. Go away, wall. Delete, yes. Deleted 0 objects. Great. I'm glad we got that sorted. Alright. Let's hide you, unselect you, grab that, do a simple duplication, move it up there, give it a full body rotation, scale it down, grab it, drag it, put it there, pop that, slide that on the X, make it bigger, grab it, pop it over here, do the same for this one, for the sake of long rocks, scale this one up entirely to break the idea that this was once just another part of the wall, and boom. It looks like it was always meant to be. With the exception of this pot right here, which is a little harder to do, but because we have this rock here, you can easily slide that down. If you have any hard lines in a brick wall, it usually starts to make people a little suspicious. So, let's not have those. Great. Let's do that exact same thing, but with a different portion of the wall. Right here, unselect the sun. Duplicate you. Rotate. That did not accomplish what I was going for. Rotate on the Y. Except that's not going to work because we tried that before. If we just rotate it like this, scale it down, and then just delete one of them. This one right, actually we don't even need to delete, we'll just take those and put them over here. Then we'll take those two, duplicate, scale on the Y, grab and drag, slight scale down, scale this one up, grab, drag, scale scale on the Y. And bring back that plane to see how it looks overall. Okay, not bad. Inconsistency is a good thing when it comes to building walls. I should know. I'm a professional. That one a little bit bigger. Chunky boy rock. Ah, what the heck. Scale you on the Y. Boom. Let's look at that rendered. Hey, look at that. It's already halfway done. Some of these gaps are a little big, but no biggie. Oops, I undid something. The best part is when it's rendered, it's really hard to tell that this is just the same thing over and over and over again. Literally just one rock. Oops. Rotatamos. Ahora es la hora de rotatar las rocas. Now is the time to rotate the rocks. Boom. I delete you, and I do some very small amounts of shifting in order to make you fit so perfectly. Take another section of this wall, like right here. Probably just these four. Duplicate, and then use that to do something. Actually, if these were all a solid object, okay, what is being selected? Okay, select. Select, 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 select. You are the only things being selected. That worked. So something else is being selected that I am just missing. I don't know what it is, but it's a thing. Absolutely no rotation except that one, which will do a flippy daisy. Yep. And we're gonna Tetris this bad boy. Right up in here. Except there's gonna be a little bit of collision with rock. So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna scale this down and use this right here. And then have a really tiny version of this. Look at that, that's cute. Let's save. Hey, it even looks uneven and weird. It's like a real stone wall / road. The slash part is important. The reason that I'm experiencing slowdown is because instead of treating this like a normal object, or like lots of small objects, I'm treating this like a bunch of big objects that have just been shrunken down, and so these have way too much detail. That is an oversight on my part, but we're almost done. So soon it won't matter, because it'll just be a picture. Though I will say I'm a little bit baffled as to why it keeps randomly doing that. wonder, can we take everything we have so far? And let's hide everything else. Light, camera. I don't know how to hide the 3D cursor. Yeah, whatever. It's probably fine. Take everything in there. And single object. Yep, single object. Now, it's slightly better. Not really, but slightly. Instead of juggling each one independently, now they all correspond with one another, so there should be hopefully a little less data. I mean, it's basically the same because there's still a stupid amount of vertices. If you really want to see meltdown, watch. All I have to do is open edit mode, and this is going to take forever because it's going to show you every single vertex that exists on every single tiny rock. This is probably a really bad idea. I don't know why I'm showing you this. I think it's just kind of fun. See? That is all of them. And it's getting mad at me with that open. So note to self, never do this again. But it'll be worth it when we have that really cool brick wall looking thing, hopefully. Okay, I'll use these last three, these independent ones, to finish up the rest of this wall, if it'll let me. I'm noticing a huge amount of slowdown. It's about to have a freak out. Yeah, there's the freak out. Actually, we need that to be a long boy, but skinny boy. You're doing your job so well, random long skinny rock. Is this an independent? No, that's part of the same thing. They're all part of the same thing. That's what happens when you make them all part of the same thing, MK. Gonna do some basic duplication here in order to get the rocks in place before we do some tweaking. So this will go here, scale it up slightly, slight amount of rotation. Oh. I may be slowly breaking the camel's back. So close though, I just need to fill this. Maybe I could be nice and start using bigger rocks. Here, tell you what. Extend this one out. If it, does. It's randomly gonna flash super, yep, there it goes. Make this one bigger that direction. And then scale it on the Y and make it bigger that direction, and then do a random rotation to it. Well, not a random rotation, I'll just rotate it 180 degrees. Alright, make a note, children. Don't ever do this. Because if you don't, you will be much happier, and your computer will have a longer shelf life. I know that's actually not the correct terminology, but who's going to stop me? Alright. Getting pretty close. There was absolutely no reason to make the rocks as detailed as I did. Just thinking out loud. We're gonna keep saving. I will not get this far, only for it to be ruined by slow computation speeds that I caused. For funsies, let's close some of these background apps. Do I need this folder open? No, I do not. I need Blender open. It's kind of an important thing. Alright, duplicate. Slide to the left. Slide in this crack right here. Probably a little bit of overlap there, but no real biggie. Okay, so close. So freaking close. I feel like this bottom rock here isn't getting as much love as it deserves. Look at that. It's almost a perfect spot, not quite, but kind of. Suddenly my computer processing speed is just way faster, and I can't tell if it's because I got really, really lucky or if my computer's just as excited as I am for this to work out. Also, someone is knocking at the door. Come in! Oh. That's still really cool though. Yeah, but the number of vertices in each of these rocks is absurd. And it was a big mistake. But it's almost done. Also, I'm probably going to leave that door open because, wow, I thought I was getting a good breeze before, but no, that's amazing. Whoop. Okay, almost done. This is definitely taking a little bit longer than I anticipated, but that's all right. Yes. Yeah. I'm making a wall, and I made these rocks way too detailed because they have so many vertices that Blender's freaking out on me right now when I'm trying to make lots of them. It's a very bad idea, but I've gotten this far, so I'm kind of committed. Plus, I mean, I'm not planning on using this as an object when this is done. I'm just gonna take a snapshot of it and then use it like a material. So, by the time it's done, it'll be great. Yep, there's literally no in between. And I am excited to find out. Oh, that is a massive rock. I'm excited to find out where it goes wrong.
Also, sure was fun punching a hole in the bedrock.
Yeah, how did you guys do that?
Okay, so apparently there's like things with the way that Minecraft works, where it is possible to use TNT pistons, TNT pistons in a specific way, where you'll be able to place a block that will replace the bedrock.
That is a horrifying sentence, and I'm going to check that out very soon.
James showed it to me, and James helped me start out. Well, so I helped James start out with it, and James helped me, and I finished the job by punching a hole.
That would explain. Did you guys punch it just near the portal complex?
Yeah, so it's about centered between everyone's portals.
Okay, sweet.
Also including James, so James portals a ways away. Yeah, it's centered
Yeah.
with his and all of ours.
Okay, cool.
But it's not too far away from all of our portals. And this way we won't have to do weird portal hopping all the time.
That does make it a lot nicer.
I'm pretty sure he's planning on boring a hole all the way down into the chasm and making it all look nice. And he said that now he wants to work on the Nether Hub. Now that he has a more viable option.
I mean, especially if we can get an easy means of transportation from the roof to the ceiling. Like, you know, getting from the standard Ravinity portal all the way to, yeah, there we go, up to that big Nether portal complex, because that was a pain.
Perfect. Try making a piston up here. So not everyone has electrics.
That is true, and kind of surprising, actually.
How's our streaming hero going?
Wow.
Is it possible to stream multiple bitches? You've got a webcam.
Yeah. I don't know. At least through OBS, I've only ever figured out how to do the one.
What if you're able to run 2 instances of OBS?
I think my computer would have an aneurysm. My computer already is having an aneurysm. So I made a fatal mistake, Alex.
Right?
So you know how when you're working with a large quantity of things, like rocks, for instance, to make a stone wall, when you're working with a large quantity of objects, you don't really need to detail them.
Did you detail them?
They are super high detailed rocks. These rocks look amazing when they're up close. So this is going to look like an amazing wall. Except my computer keeps having a heart attack like every 30 minutes or 30 seconds.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yup.
Yep, that's about it.
Oh, I just realized the worst part of this entire thing. This isn't even in rendered mode. This is just looking at them as solids, which I guess is the, you know, the most detailed part, so to speak, of these rocks, is just their physical appearance. But still. I'm sure this wall I've created would put any stonemason to shame. Or not would put them to shame, but would make them ashamed. Two very different ideas. But I don't actually have a good counter. So I'm just gonna rotate this and pretend like everything's alright. Please don't crash. Please, I'm so close. Actually, I might just call that the last one. So I know I'm going to regret this in a sec. I do want to put that there. Okay. Let's save that and get ready to bite a bullet. Oh yeah, neither of these are here. Okay. See, those don't look too bad. I do like the texturing on them. I will say though that the undersides of these look a little more rough than the very obvious top sides. Okay. So we will lock camera to view. Down. Oop, it's getting mad at me. See, the sad thing is I don't even get to use the whole thing in the frame, but maybe that's for the best. If I rotate this on the Z axis, about to freak out. So I'm gonna do that. So sorry. Let's just go right in the middle. Why not? That looks pretty decent. Okay, then for the world settings, let's crank it up. Let's not do that. I do like the idea of having consistent lighting. Something about that just feels wrong. If we darken it a little bit. pretty similar effect, but okay. Focus on shading the plane. What does mortar look like? Kind of lumpy. We'll do a noise texture again, but we'll make it a lot larger. Yeah, this is going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back. Doesn't really need to be super detailed. It doesn't even really need to be super rough. I have darker patches throughout. I think I'm going to keep this one about here, but then I'm going to make it look a little more greenish. Just slightly. Kind of a dark green. And plug that directly in there because we do want it to look weird. Add a solidify modifier. Whoop. That's a solid wall of mortar. Drat. I constantly forget that in order to do this, I can't actually okay, what's going on here? Why am I just seeing a white plane? Ah. Let's go back and apply that thickness modifier. But what if we apply it? Yeah, there we go. Apply it in reverse. Why is this one so much bigger than the others? Oh, actually, hold the phone. Oh crap, I love that. The mortar looks wrong. It's strangely shiny? Despite the fact that the roughness is up all the way. long and arduous process, but I present to you finished product. It'll appear very shortly. Someday. Hopefully. Maybe. Possibly. Ta-da! It's a wall. Definitely not perfect, and if I'm being honest, there's a lot of big gaps in between some of these bricks, but that is what we're gonna go with. And on my little thumbnail thing I'm seeing over here, I'm actually really liking that material, so I think I can find a use for it. Bricks. Save as image. Saved. Alrighty, gotta change the thumbnail to this random brick wall. Okay. Well, thank you for joining me once again tonight. I know this one's not quite as exciting, but I really wanted to make a brick wall for some reason. So, or I guess less of a brick wall, more of a rock wall, stone wall, sort of thing. Anyway, thanks for joining. Hopefully the music's been good. Hopefully you've had a good night, and I hope y'all take care. Bye.